So, text animations are getting very popular nowadays. If you see any website, you might have come across this kind of text animations. In fact, a lot of awards winning website uses text based animations, and all of these animations can be replicated using simply GSAP and React. How, you ask? Well, today I'm going to show you one of the easiest text animation that looks pretty amazing, and you can integrate it in your React application to make it look at least 10 times better. So without wasting any time, let's jump right into it. First step would be to install a React based application. I'm going to install Next.js. And let's fill in the credentials and wait for it to get installed. Okay, the installation is successful. Step 2 is install GSAP. And we have added it. Let's open the VS Code. And now in this, we will create a component folder, and inside this we will create a file named text.tsx, where we'll include all the text that we need to animate. So in this, let's include some class name. For example, text center size would be of 9XL. Let's do it. And font should be bold, text of white, and let's give a margin top of 10. And one more thing, we don't want it to overflow, so overflow X should be hidden. Let's give it a name that we are going to use it while animating. Text section. Make sense? Let's go. Let's use this component inside one of the files, the root files. For example, layout. I'm going to use it inside layout like this, text, and import it. And before moving forward, make sure to declare it as a client component. Use client. Cool. Now, the final step. Create a file for animations in animations folder, and inside this, create a file named text animations.ts. Export const text animations. This is the final step that we have to do. Let's register some plugins first. GSAP. Let's import GSAP.register plugin. Which plugin? The text animation plugin. Which plugin is that? Its name is split text. Let's import it. And now what we have to do is we'll define a variable named class with new class of split text, which we imported, and inside we'll define the class name which we used here. This class name we'll use here, so as to define that we are going to do the animations here only. Now inside this, you have to define the type that you want to animate. Here I have to animate individual lines that you saw in the animation. So type will be lines. It will take individual lines. For example, this is the first line. It will take this as first, this as second. So all the sections that gets created will be divided based on the lines. And if you wanted to select individual words, you could have used words, or if you wanted letters, you could have selected letters. But now I'm going to use lines. Let's use this. Initialize the text section with some predefined animations. For example, we need to show the 3D format, so we'll define perspective as 1000 to apply some 3D effect in the parent element. Let's split the lines. For example, this split has array named lines, and then this array will use for each element or for each line that we are getting. What we are going to do is we'll apply an animation from to with on this line, and initial animation or initial value of the animation should be opacity as 0. It should rotate in the x direction as minus 120 degrees. I've defined it. You can tweak and play around with it. Transform origin should be top of the every line that we have. So it should be written as top center. Cool. Next, the final animation position should be something like opacity should be 1 from 0 to 1. Rotation should in the x direction should be of 0 degrees. From minus 120 it should come to 0 degrees. Easing should be like, let's do power 2 of n. It's not necessary to include, it just controls the easing. Now we have to use scroll based animation, right? So we have to include one more plugin which is called scroll trigger. Okay, let's use scroll trigger to add animation based on scrolling. Scroll trigger should happen because of every line that we have, this one, right? And starting point should be the top of the screen should meet 50% of the line element, then only it should start, or it will be very late. Instead, let's do 90%. That will be much better. And should be top of element. Let's do it here only 50. The top of the screen, top of the element should touch the 50% of the screen, then only it will end. And scrub should be true, so that when we scroll up and down, it kind of reverses or starts the animation. Now this text animation, the final step is to use it here in the text. How? Use GSAP hook, and this hook only comes with React GSAP. So we have only installed GSAP, so we have to install npm i @gsap/react. And now if we try to import it, it will get imported. As I've already told you, it's kind of a use effect kind of hook. Define any animation that you want here only, animations, and let's see if it works. Npm run dev, and when we scroll down, the animation kind of starts happening. And if you want, you can change it according to your own wish. You see, the code is in the description. You can try and test it out in your own way, tweak it, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, that's it for today. Comment down your thoughts, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Thank you.